Okay, boys and girls, as a reminder, I'm leaving a video here for those of you that would like some help with Delta Math. Now, I will go through each one of these skills and show the variations of the skills and how to solve them. So, starting with the first one, classifying polynomials. Remember, this is all about whether or not you understand, that there are three rules that do not make a polynomial a polynomial. One, if we have an exponent, we cannot have an exponent as a variable as the exponent. Number two, we cannot have a negative exponent, meaning a negative number. And three, we are not allowed to have, sorry, one second. And the third rule, sorry about that, is that we cannot have an variable in the denominator. So as a reminder, it cannot have a variable in the exponent. We cannot have a negative exponent, and we cannot have a variable as the denominator. Knowing those three rules, everything else will be a polynomial except for those three rules. So determine if the following expression is a polynomial. It looks like it's a polynomial because it doesn't follow into any of the three on the right. So it represents a polynomial. The polynomial is we have one term and two terms. So it's a binomial and has a degree of, well, what's the bigger number, 5 or 3? Which exponent is the bigger number? 5 is the bigger number. Yeah, so it has a degree of 5. Submit the answer, and there we have it. Let's look at one more question. Once again, we have right here a polynomial because it does not follow the rules on the right. So it represents a polynomial. It is it looks like there's two terms. So I'm going to call it a binomial, and it has a degree of 5 because 5 is the bigger exponent. Submit the answer. Let's look at one more. This is very similar to the old one. Here, this one's a good one. What's one of the rules that we have? One of the rules that we have is that we cannot have a negative exponent. We cannot have a negative exponent. So we say that this does not represent a polynomial. It does not represent a polynomial. Let's look at one more maybe. This one's a good one. Okay, so here we're going to look at this term. Just give me 1 second. Let me erase this. Now, realizing that there's a square root 2, we actually can rewrite this as x to the 4 over 8 minus 4 square root 2 x squared. We still have a polynomial because we have a number and we have a variable. So we clearly have a polynomial despite this being at the end. Remember, the numbers go in front of the variables. The numbers go in front of the variables. So here we're going to say the same. It represents a polynomial, and the polynomial is I count two terms again, so binomial. And what number is bigger, 4 or 2? Well, degree of 4. Submit the answer. And there we have it. Watch out. Watch out. If you have a square root that's only the number, it still is a polynomial. If you have a square root that is only the number, it is still a polynomial. Let's erase this and take a look at one more example before we move on to the next skill. Show the question. Let's take a look at, this is a good one. Okay, so here, it looks like we have one term, two terms, and three terms, and it doesn't have any of the following on the right. So for this one, we can say it represents a polynomial. How many circles did I draw? How many terms? It looks like there are 3 terms and has a degree of, what's the bigger number, 5 or 4? Well, it looks like 5 is the bigger number than 4. Yeah, there are 5 p's attached to 7. So we say 5. I'm going to submit the answer, and there we have it. Please look at this video should you have any inquiries on how to classify polynomials, The critical element is remembering these 3 rules because they are not polynomials. Okay. I hope that helps everyone. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay. All right. We will be giving feedback on these questions. Rewrite polynomials in standard form. If you will recall, standard form involves writing the biggest exponent to the smallest exponent. So in this example, I have negative x to the power of 4. Remember, a number on its own, like 1, actually has a variable, x to the 0. But that's the smallest, so we can put that right here because 0 is the smallest possible number. So anytime you have a variable to 0, a number on its own, it actually is an exponent to the power of 0. And now we have minus x over 7. So this is how we need to write it. And a little trick that we can probably do is actually copy. Whoops. You guys can click Shift and the number 6 on your keyboards to create an exponent. Shift and the number on the keyboard. Minus x divided by 7 plus 1. Critical to use your keyboard. Okay, you must use your keyboard on these questions. And there we have it. If we submit, there we go. Let's take a look at one more question. So let me just clear what we have. 1 second here. There we go. Remember, we have to write from the biggest, so this is the biggest, to the smallest. This is the smallest. Big, small. A number on its own is the smallest possible variable. A number on its own is the smallest possible variable. To get the exponent, I type in x, shift 6, shift the number 6 at the same time to create an exponent, squared, plus x divided by 7 minus 4. X divided by 7 is the second biggest term. Minus 4 is the smallest term. Okay, let's look at one more. Let me just erase what we have. Let's look at one more here. Ooh, now we have a polynomial. We have 4 terms. So now let's remember this one very carefully because we have the biggest exponent and the smallest exponent. Well, the smallest is easy. That's always just going to be the number. So we have -1. What's the next smallest? X squared, yeah, plus x squared minus 9x cubed and x to the power of 4 over 6 minus, yeah. That's how it should be because if you look at the exponents, we have 4, 3, 2, and technically speaking, 0. A number on its own is the variable to the power of 0 because anything to 0 is 1. So let's write the following term, -x over 6, to the power of 4 minus 9x to the power of 3 plus x shift 6. Just to get the exponent, everyone, you need to click on your keyboard. Minus 1. And when we type that in, we should have the right answer. So just remember, this strategy requires that you read the exponent, everyone. You must read the exponent. Let's do one more that might be a little bit more challenging. Yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one. Yeah. I don't see with, remember, we're going to do biggest to smallest. And I know that any number without a variable is going to be my smallest. X on its own is the second smallest, because that's essentially x to the power of 1, plus 2x squared plus 8x to the power of 4. As we can see, and as I will repeat, all you're doing is reading the exponents and putting them from biggest to smallest. So let's type the following: x to the power of 4 plus 2x to the power of 2 plus x minus 1 over 6. That should give us the right answer because we have the biggest and we have the smallest. And there we have it. And there we have it. Okay, so remember, you're just reading the exponents for this skill. You are just reading the exponents for this skill. Critical. You are only reading the exponents for this skill. Now let's take a look at adding and subtracting polynomials, the topic of the week. The topic of the week. So if we have negative 2x squared, remember, because we're adding, we are combining like terms. So I'm going to circle them to make my life a little easier in the colors. 8x and x, and 3 and plus 3. So now let's combine them and see what we get. We naturally are going to know that negative 2x squared plus negative 9x squared, negative 2 plus negative 9. Remember, only the coefficients will change. Only the coefficients will change. Negative 11x squared. So I can go ahead and write that down. Negative 11x squared. Let's look at the green. What do we have in the green? Let me get the color for green out. We have negative 8x plus x. So negative 8 plus, well, what's this x mean? 1. So negative 8 plus 1 gives us negative 7x. Negative 7x. Negative 7x. Lastly, we have, I'm going to change the color one more time, plus 3 plus 3. That's going to give us 6. Yeah, plus 3 plus 3, 6. So I can type in now plus 6. And that should give us the correct answer. Remember, you are combining like terms when you are adding. You are combining like terms when you are adding. Let's check out a new problem and let me erase what we have. There we go. Now, sometimes they're going to ask you, what's the sum of these two? Meaning, algebraically, we're looking at it like this. 4x squared plus 7 is one term. We're going to add it to 6x squared minus 5, the second term. So when we're adding these two, we can actually circle the colors that we like. So I'm going to go with green and green. So 4x squared plus 6x squared. That's going to give me 10x squared because I'm only changing the coefficient, And now I'm going to do negative 7. I'm going to do it in pink. I'm sorry about the color. And negative 5. I'm going to combine these two. negative 7 plus negative 5. Negative 7 plus negative 5 is negative 12. So let's write that down just how we have it. 10x squared minus 12. And there we have it. Check, check. Let's take a look at one more. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a real fancy one. I like it. I like it. A fancy question. Fancy pants over here. All right. So take a look at this. Yeah, we have 9x squared. I'm going to put red. And now, looks like there's only one x variable here. Well, now let's go with blue because there's a negative 8 and a plus 3. So let's combine these colors. 9x squared plus 9x squared. Remember, only the coefficients, only the coefficients. 18x squared. Let's look at the green. Well, the green is all on its own. That's going to be plus 9x. And now let's look at the blue. The blue, we have negative 8 plus 3. Negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5, everyone. Negative 5. You're going to need to be good with the negative and positive additions. So let's write that down. 18x squared plus 9x minus 5. Just like we saw it right there. We're just combining like terms, yeah? So I hope the addition questions here are making sense to everyone, yeah? The addition is the same process that you know in 8th grade as combining like terms, You can use a shape or colors to help you out, but you are combining like terms. Let's look at, here we go. Now we have a subtraction. What is critical to remember that we've seen in class? That negative is actually a negative 1, everyone. So what we're actually looking at is 3x squared minus 7x, yeah, minus 4x squared minus 6x. When we subtract, we are changing the signs. We are changing the signs, everyone. You see how it was positive? Now it's negative. You see how it was positive? Now it's negative. Yeah, so remember, we are changing the signs when we subtract. Okay, so knowing that, let us now circle in red, and circle in green, and circle in green. So let's combine those terms. 3 plus negative 4. 3 plus negative 4 is negative x squared. And negative 7 plus negative 6 is negative 13x. All right. Let's look at one more of those problems. Let's not do a sum here. Perfect. I like this one. This was a good one. This is a really good one. Let's look at this one. When it's even giving it to us in verbal format, we can create the algebraic expression of it above. You know, negative 2x squared plus 3x minus 9 minus, remember, subtract negative 2x from, 1 second, everyone. When it says from, it's important to denote, I think I made an. Okay, here's the critical thing, everyone. Here is a mistake that I just made. I did not read my question. I did not read the question. When it says the word from, it means 8x squared plus 10x minus 10 from the other expression. Yeah, it's the other expression, everyone. Please read that carefully. Please read that carefully, okay? It's not negative 2 minus the following. It's the second expression minus the first expression. Everyone, the second expression minus the first. When you see it in verbal context because of the language, from. Second minus the first. Second minus the first. So now let's look at it algebraically. What do we have? Remember the -1 right here. And we just changed the symbols. 8x squared plus 10x minus 10. Negative, negative, positive 2x squared. Negative, positive, negative 3x. Negative, negative, plus 9. Now we can combine the like terms. Now we can combine the like terms. 8x squared, 2x squared. They're the same family. They're from the Russian side. 10x minus 3x. And negative 10 and 9. Now we can combine them together. So in green, I have 8 plus 2, 10x squared. In blue, I have 10 minus 3 plus 7x. And lastly, I have negative 10 plus 9, negative 1. Yeah, so now you guys will see I have all three terms combined from the subtraction. We're going to do one more of these because these are an easy one to fall into a trap for, okay? These are an easy one to fall into a trap for, okay? Everyone sees this, yes? Everyone sees this. Let's clear it and do one more of these because these are the tricky ones I don't want you to fall into a trap for, okay? New problem. Perfect, just like we wanted. Now, remember, the second term from the first term. So I'm going to do negative 2x squared minus 5x minus 7 subtracted from 5x squared minus 2x minus 5. All right, now let's simplify this term. Negative 2x squared minus 5x minus 7, and we just changed the symbols. Positive 5x is now negative 5x squared. Negative 2, negative, negative, positive 2x. Negative and negative 5 is positive 5. Okay. Now we're going to do the same strategy. Circle, circle in one color, circle. Remember, if you're doing this on paper, you can always draw symbols as well. You don't need to do the colors, okay? You don't need to do the colors, but you can do symbols as well, right? So negative 2 plus negative 5 is going to give us negative 7x squared. And negative 5 plus 2 is going to give us 3x. And negative 7 plus 5 is going to give us 2. All right. What did I do? Oh, David. I typed in a plus when I obviously meant to do a negative. Why did I do that? I typed in a plus when I was meant to type in a negative, which negative 5x plus 2x is obviously negative 3. Come on, David. Ay, Pascual. Okay. Sorry about that one, chicos. One more question, just to make sure that we understand this one well. We're going to do one more subtraction because those are the trickier ones. All right. Last one right here of a subtraction. We have, remember, second term from the first. So we have 2x squared plus 8 minus negative 6x squared minus 2x plus 5. 2x squared. Well, let's, one sec. I'm going to need a little bit more room here. We can just open up this first bracket, 2x squared plus 8, negative, negative, positive x, 6x squared, negative, negative, positive 2x, and negative, positive, negative 5. Yeah, negative 5. Now let's combine the like terms, 2x, 6x. What else can we combine here? It looks like this is going to be all on its own. I'm going to put that in light baby blue. And +8 and -5. Okay, so let's combine those terms together. In red, I've got 2x squared plus 6x, that's 8x squared. I still have my 2x. Sorry, that's my laundry going. And I have +8 -5, that is +3. Okay, there we have it. 8x squared plus 2x plus 3. Let's type that in. 8x squared plus 2x plus 8 minus 5. That's 8 minus 5 plus 3. And check, check. Yeah. Watch out when you read this. You are subtracting the second from the first when they give it to you in verbal format. The second from the first. Okay. I hope this helps everyone with this section because these questions and the next ones are going to be a little bit of a challenge, just a little bit, not too much. Because here we're going to substitute these equations into what we have. Yeah. So 3 and C, what is C again? Well, it tells us that C is x squared plus 8x plus 3. And B, well, B is on its own as, yeah, x minus 8. All right. Remember the distributive property. Remember the distributive property. Remember the distributive property. 3 times x squared is 3x squared. 3 times 8 is 24x. And 3 times 3 is 9. And since we're doing an addition, we can add what we have on the right. There's nothing attached to B. Now let's do the tactic that we've been doing. 24x plus x and plus 9 minus 8. So we have 3x squared plus 25x plus 1 because 9 minus 8 is 1. 24 plus 1 is 25. And check, check. All right, just remember, we are substituting a polynomial into the equation. We are substituting a polynomial into the equation. All right. Let's take a look at another one. Let's take a look at another one. Oof, I like this one. This one's a good one. Tactic number 1, always write it out. Staring at a computer screen will not help. Always write it out, everyone. If you stare at the computer screen, you will not resolve these. You must write with pencil and paper to help you out. 2 times 3t minus 1 plus t squared. So what do we have here? 3 times 2, 6t. Remember, I'm doing the term c into the 2, into the equation. 6t minus 2 plus 2t squared. That's going to equal c. Yeah, that's going to equal the first part, this part that we have. And we're going to have to subtract that from 2 brackets 2t plus 7. So we have 4t and 14. So what are we doing here? We're doing 6t minus 2 plus 2t squared, yeah, brackets, minus 4t plus 14. Okay, so we have 6t minus 2 plus 2t squared minus 4t plus 14. So let's circle the terms that we have. 6t minus 4t. 2t squared and minus 2 plus 14. Okay, so 2t squared, it looks to be all on its own, so I can put 2t squared. And I can do 6 minus 4 is plus 2t, and negative 2 plus 14 is plus 12. Jesus Christ, David. Okay, chicos, 1 second. I made a big error. Okay, chicos, what's critical here, and I'm just going to do one more problem that's a subtraction. I made a big error there, is take these problems slowly. Do not try to rush this because you will not get it right. I just made an error because I tried to do it very fast. Okay, so let's rewrite this. 2 brackets, what's C? X plus 8. X plus 8. What's D? We're going to do that plus 3 times D, 2x plus 10. So let's multiply these using the distributive property. 2x, 2 times 8, 16. 3 times 2, 6x. 3 times 10, 30. Now that I've taken it slowly, we can combine the like terms. Combine the like terms, 16 and 30. So I now have 2 plus 6, 8x. 16 plus 30, 46. There we go. Okay, take these questions slowly. Take these questions slowly. Do not rush it. Do not rush it. Let's do another subtraction because I did the other one a little bit too fast. Here we go. Here's a good one. Here's a good subtraction question, yeah? Do these questions slowly. I made an error because I tried to do it quickly. Do these questions slowly, okay? There's no point rushing it. More errors happen when you rush something, yeah? So 3, what's B? 2t plus 10. 2t plus 10. Minus 3 brackets C, what's C? Negative t squared minus t minus 1. Yeah? So 3 times 2, 6t. 3 times 10, 30. Negative 3 times negative t squared is negative negative, positive 3t squared. Negative 3 times negative t is positive 3t. And negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. See how much easier it is when you go slowly, slowly. 6t. Do we have another? Yeah, look at that. Part of the same family. 3t. Let's choose another color. Let's go with green. Plus 30 and plus 3. And of course, all on his lonely self is plus 3t squared. So let's write this down the way we have it. 3t squared. 6 plus 3 is 9t. And 30 plus 3 is plus 33. All right. Type this one in. There we go. Take these questions slowly. Don't rush them. Yeah, I'm going to do one more because I rushed it and I should punish myself for one more question. Take these questions slowly. So here we have C. And C, we're told, is going to be x squared minus 7. That's what C is. Yeah, C. Minus 2 brackets, what's our D? 2 minus x plus 9x squared. So what do we have here? We can open this one up because it's got no distributive property necessary, but now we're going to need to distribute the negative 2. Distribute the negative 2. Not 2, negative 2. Minus 4 plus 2x. And negative 2 times 9, negative 18x squared. So we have all the terms opened up, and we can now circle in gold, and let's do the same. Let me change the color here. Negative 7 minus 4, and lastly, plus 2x. Okay, so what do we have when we do negative 18x squared plus x squared? Well, we're moving in the right direction, negative 17x squared. So I can type in here negative 17x squared. Negative 7 minus, well, we still have plus 2x. He's all on his own. But negative 7 minus 4 should be negative 11. Negative 11. All right. Remember, chicos, with these questions, you must really take them slowly and use a pencil and paper. Staring at the screen will not give you the answer. We're going to review these questions for feedback on Friday. If you need anything, I'm available to you guys, okay? But I'm not doing these questions for you. These are yours to be done autonomously. Hope everyone's doing well, and we'll catch each other soon on the fly. Ciao, ciao.